No!
Okay, so,
How do I imitate you? How do you start your channel?
I don't. I just, like...
You go straight?
Yeah, I just, like...
Hello!
No, here's the thing. Usually I'm upstairs in my room doing this. Usually I'm, like... Whenever I do the show, I'm down here. You're sitting where I'm sitting right now, where I do the show. And at my, like, camera's, like, this way. And whenever I have to do something different, it's usually in front of, like, my closet door in my room. And so...
This don't get him at all.
It's... Well, everybody does things like this in their room. So, well, we finished doing something different episode. And so we're going to do another one since we just started up. And it's
Back to the Future.
Yeah, so
the first one.
Yeah, she actually like it was an idea we had last week.
Yeah,
up until this when I upload this video, it's going to be like 2 weeks ago about 2 weeks. So we were at Hot Topic after we saw I think
Ant-Man 2.
Yeah, before or after we saw Ant-Man.
I think after.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you were mentioning you wanted me to see Back to the Future.
Yeah, so we were at the mall, right in Toronto.
Yeah.
After we saw Ant-Man on the Wall, and so we were at a store like Hot Topic, and then Huey Lewis had this they were playing Huey Lewis song "Power of Love," which everybody knows. Like most people know from Back to the Future.
I didn't know.
And so I'm like, hey, Back to the Future. Hey, I have an idea. And I go to her, hey, maybe like next week we should, or it was originally supposed to be that week, but it was too late. So it was like, hey, how about next week? Come over to my house. I have the first Back to the Future movie on DVD. I used to have it on VHS, like up until we moved, but I can't find it anywhere. So I ended up getting it on DVD like a couple of months prior. And so she's like, okay, fine. And so, as of like about 3 hours right now, as of we're recording right now, which is like February, not February, July 26th. July 26th.
I watched it.
Yeah, about 6 hours ago, we watched the first Back to the Future movie.
Yeah, essentially, because
she never watched
it,
which was a shock to me. I'm like. You haven't seen Back to the Future? My sister saw it, and she's 5 years younger than you. She's a few years younger than you, and she watched all of them in a row.
Look, it wasn't something I grew up with. I grew up with like Filipino movies and like other stuff.
Yeah, but
I don't know. It weirdly never came up like growing up.
Yeah, well,
I knew of it, like it was a thing.
Yeah.
Like I think most people growing up at that point would know of it, but I don't know, it wasn't something like my family like wanted to watch or anything.
Yeah, well, I used to have my family. Yeah, our family used to have it on VHS, and when as a kid I used to watch it, about 30 minutes of it because it looked so interesting, and I didn't know what was going on because I was a kid. I watched it like first time I watched it was around when I was in grade 2, and like, oh, this is amazing. This is neat.
6-ish.
Yeah,
probably.
I'm like, this looks great. Then I lose interest halfway through because like,
it's one of those movies where it does say PG, but like, I mean, realistically, it shouldn't. In this day and age, it should not be. It should be like, well, I mean, with all the swearing, easily 14A.
Yeah, 14. It could be a PG-13. There's not that much swearing. It's just
but it's like that's. I feel like it's enough for it to be warranted.
Yeah.
I feel like it could be. But, like, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, if you're a kid, all the jokes would go over you too. But it's just like...
I was just, like, as a kid, I was just enjoying the spectacle.
We did, and then, like, I mean, in fact, I'm watching it as an adult, and then you watched it as a kid, and it's just like, I look at it and I'm just, like, looking back at you, and it's just like, so incest! This is where we're going with this movie.
It was, hey, listen, it was most of the movies set in the 1950s.
Look.
It had to be. No, it didn't have to be. But you know, people are like, oh, it's a family film. It's a family film. It's like, well, there's incest. This instance of the main character getting kissed by his mom on the mouth. So there's that going for it. There's incest. There's a lot of there's some instances of swearing. It's like it's not a G-rated film.
Oh yeah.
It's
only PG.
It's not a family film by any means. The whole family get together for the whole family to see the main character kiss his mom in the mouth.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they didn't know, but he was trying to warn her without saying, "I'm your son. You need to stop trying to bang me."
Or he could just easily say, "Hey, listen, I'm gay."
I know. I felt like he should have mentioned it at that point, but like at the time of the movie, like what? In the 70s, right?
What?
Or when was it filmed though?
It was filmed in 1984 or 5.
So it was around that time.
It was released in 1985, and I respect the actor Michael J. Fox for like acting in this, because I didn't tell you this while we were watching this movie, but during the movie, like while I was making the movie, he was already on a show called Family Ties, and originally he was not supposed to be in the movie.
Yeah, something happened, didn't it?
Yeah, he was the original, like, he was original choice. He was always going to be the original choice, but because of scheduling conflicts with Family Ties, he had to back out, and he was like replaced with Eric Stoltz.
Yeah.
And so like they got a few scenes with him, and they decided, no, he's not working out with us.
Yeah.
So like there are shots in the movie where he is in it technically, but it's like kind of far away shots.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like the part where Martin McFly punches Biff in the face at the restaurant. Yeah. That's Eric Stoltz apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's him. That's why you don't see his face, the back of his head. Yeah. Like that's why you only see like his fist but no head. It
was a pretty well hand shot. Yeah. Of that happening. But it was just like it was fast enough where it's like you couldn't tell.
Yeah, they did a pretty good job. And so what happened? So they eventually worked a way around it. Like during the day, Michael J. Fox would shoot Family Ties, and during the night he'd be on Back to the Future.
He would be a teenager at this point. Did they have?
I think he was still in his 20s.
Was he in his 20s at this point?
Yeah, he was in his 20s.
So he was just fresh.
He was just fresh. That's why I respect him so much, because he's just doing 2 jobs in one day, and that takes a toll.
Yeah, because especially he's hit the point where it's like he doesn't have the rights where he could go over 8 hours. From what I know, right? For like
probably. I don't know about the rules. I just know that the fact, like, after a long day, he had to get somebody to carry him home while he was asleep.
It's just like, man, over there.
Yeah, because it was exhausted with all this.
Yeah, if you were working straight like that, any person would be tired. But luckily he wasn't a kid, because if he was younger, technically,
it's called Dawson County. It's called Dawson Casting.
I thought you meant like Dawson's Creek.
That's kind of where it comes from. Dawson's Creek, like, they were high school, but they were played by much older people. Yeah, 20s.
I mean, still a thing.
Yeah, it's still a thing.
I don't think the industry has changed that way.
Yeah, but it was pretty kind of obvious at some time. But he did a pretty good job as a high school student.
Yeah, it wasn't like he was starting to hit 30s. Like he still was like relatively young enough to be.
Yeah, he was relatively convincing.
Like he could have easily gone like he was a senior.
Probably. But I think he was a senior at that
time. Yeah, I think he was a senior.
Like near the end of the film, he's like to his friend, so I'll see you, hit me up in the future. I'll probably be like 47. And it's like, it's 30 years into the future, so it's like he's 17. Yeah. Yeah, so he's almost a senior.
He's just that senior year, 17, 18 would be senior year for us, or for him. So I'm just like, you. So, it was fun. It was a fun movie.
Yeah. I should have gotten hurt. I should have, like...
Gotten all 3?
Yeah, I should have gotten all 3.
Yeah, because literally I was watching the end, and I was like, I'm cheating.
Yeah, you want to see the other 2, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Tell you, they're not as good, but they're still classics. They're still good to this day. To this day, they hold a special part in my heart. Yeah, they still hold a special part in my heart. It's just that, you can't beat the original unless you're Captain America. In which case, the first one is the weakest. Like the first one.
Rush Hour's the same. The second one was the best.
Oh yeah, second one was the best one. The third one was just sucky because it felt so rushed and short.
Rusher.
Because listen. Oh.
I tried.
Like here's the thing: the Rush Hour 2 was like, it it was like long. It felt so long because there were so much things in it.
There was a lot of things going on with that movie.
There was things in it, like there were so many things that are going on. It kept your interest throughout the whole thing. The third one, it's like here's an hour and a half, and here's like bits and pieces.
That's true.
Like it felt empty. It felt hollow. It's like you could have filled it up with so much more. The second one was so much like on a grander scale. It felt so alive and fun.
Alive?
It was, yeah. Cause,
it's not like they're not alive.
Yeah, no, the third one felt dead.
In comparison, yeah.
Yeah.
They did just green light like a fourth one.
Yeah, that's only like Jackie Chan's on board.
Yeah, both the actors are on board. Chris Tucker said yes.
Okay, good, because
so they both agreed.
As long as it's better than the third one, at least it's on par with the first one, at least. Because the first one was good.
That's entertaining.
I hope, like, at least you can't get better than the second one, but the first one.
It's like one of those that should become its own thing.
Yeah, but
come back.
Yeah, and
do it, Jackie Chan.
Yeah, Back to the Future. Like, got anything to say about it? Like,
I mean, it was one of those like. Well, it's definitely 80s.
Oh yeah,
sure.
It's definitely
like,
80s.
The cuts and stuff were oh yeah. Yeah, because incest was so acceptable in the 50s.
It was a different time back then.
I don't know what. No. No. Big word.
What?
No.
Yeah, it's a different time back then. Like everybody had one TV.
One TV.
And I bet you that people who are watching that, like people under 20 watching that movie, are gonna be like, "One TV? What is this?" While they're watching it through their smartphones or the laptops and their smartphones.
Yeah, it was pretty well done. I mean, the effects were. I love the effects. Except for the one with when it initially was supposed to hit them and it didn't, and the fire streak when it was except the pan, and I looked at it and I was like, dude, your foot would be on fire right about now.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know why that shot it was like the fire, and then the other shot was practical effects. And I was like,
what do you want them to do? Actually, almost get hit by fire?
Well, I mean, if you were gonna do it literally the first shot was practical fire, and then it was like CG, and then after that it was already practical effects. So I'm kind of just like, look, just put the goo thing and put it on your feet.
I don't think they had it back in the 80s.
I feel like they would have.
Or they probably ran out of time because for post-production, he was still doing things. Remember?
He was still doing things. I need you to be set on fire for art.
All right, if it's for art, I'll do it. What's that? My stuntman quit? Okay, I'll do it.
I doubt it, but it could be a thing.
Yeah.
It's just it's a fun movie essentially. The kid had a coming of age and then certain little bits and pieces. So it's kind of
it starts off not knowing what to expect, and then
I wasn't really sure what I was expecting. I was just kind of okay, it's an 80s movie, and I was gonna involve zany, but not gonna lie, there was just some existential crisis. I was just if he's throwing little bits and pieces of that in there, I'm like, oh no, what is this man gonna do? Because the rule is you can't mess with time. In movies, that's very true. You're not supposed to, but it's just can you imagine if it wasn't? But obviously, for movie's sake, it needs a sort of conflict.
Yeah.
So I was kind of just oh, the incest. That's the biggest part, the incest.
It always comes back to the incest.
Look, or the guy with 3D glasses that had it the whole film.
Yeah, that's gonna mess up your eyesight.
Literally, I was sitting there, I'm just why?
Even at night. The guy wore it at night.
At night, and I'm just did he was he not well? did he need? Is it the equivalent of sunglasses?
I need my whole world to be in 3D, but the whole world isn't 3D. Well, that's depressing.
It's just well, I mean,
hey, if he was born around this day and age, he probably wore the damn 3D HD glasses.
Like a hipster.
Or somebody who's trying to be blind.
Or both.
A blind hipster, why not?
I mean...
They're out there.
You're halfway there.
I'm not blind, whoever you are. All right, so Back to the Future. Eventually, is there any other movies you haven't seen like at all?
I haven't seen a lot of classics. Well, you did want me to watch Evil Dead like series eventually, and I'm kind of like, huh.
Yeah, she doesn't want to because like
I can't do Kill Bill. I've tried like the first few minutes. I couldn't do it. Any classics I genuinely haven't seen, I guess?
any classics. I don't know.
I guess it depends what you consider classic. I watch films too, like you, but it's like
Like I'm looking over my DVD case right now, but right now like none that are coming.
Yeah, those are much newer. So
most of them are much newer. You haven't seen The Big Lebowski.
oh shit, no, I haven't.
All right, yeah.
Do I have to be high to see that one?
No, you don't have to be high. I suggest you not being high to see that movie. We're watching Adventure Time right now. Like after Back to the Future, we're watching season 5 of Adventure Time, and we don't know what's going on sometimes, and we're stone cold sober. You are not. Even when if we take a little bit of those edibles, we are not going to watch that movie high. We're not watching The Big Lebowski high. I remember watching that movie when I was in high school, and I told our drama teacher, "Hey, look, sir, I watched The Big Lebowski over the weekend," and he's like, "Oh, whoa, that's awesome." He wasn't high. It's just like, oh, he got it. Like he watched it.
Oh, you watched it?
Yeah, he watched it. Like it came out in '98.
Yeah, that's a relatively old film, I guess.
Like I always wanted to watch it when I saw the commercials on pay-per-view. I'm like, this looks like an interesting movie. Too bad it's rated R.
Too bad it's rated R.
Yeah.
When's that ever stopped anybody?
Listen, '98. This was '98. I was 7. I'm like, oh, this trailer looks great. I want to watch it on pay-per-view, but rated R and stuff. And so like back to Back to the Future. Like she hasn't seen the sequels. I want to get the sequels just to get her to watch it back to back.
To back.
No, just 2. Because the last 2. Because
I mean, there was only 3.
Yeah, there was rumors about there being a remake, but they shouldn't do it.
Recently?
Like a couple of years ago, there was a rumor, but it's like
I don't think that'll happen.
I hope it doesn't.
I feel like I know like it is like we're back to like reboots will always happen no matter what. And it's just like right now they're catering to like the people like us, like in the 90s, like the millennials and all of that. And then they make fun of us and be like, well, you're the lazy generation. You're like, but I'm in my 20s. Nope. Like everybody's in the working force already.
But
so, I mean, it could be, Voltron came back and that was an anime in like the 80s.
Yeah, but
that could happen.
In terms of Back to the Future, I don't think.
No, it shouldn't be. It should be left alone. Like that should be left alone. What else were they gonna reboot? I mean, Spider-Man should have been left alone for another few years.
Oh,
when they made the second one, and then
oh god.
Plus Tom Holland because he's much younger and just like closer to the age that Peter Parker is at.
Not Tobey Maguire, who looks like he's in his late, almost pretty much like
when he's yeah. Look, he could only do well. Tom Holland's only like 21.
Yeah, but he can do a little kid voice.
Yeah, it's like he's never hit puberty. But Tom Holland's talented though. He's like he dances, he sings.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the Umbrella? The battle, lip sync battle, Tom Holland and Zendaya.
I don't watch those.
I watched that just to see what it looks like, and it's just like you are a phenomenal dancer.
Because I'm not a big fan of Jimmy Fallon.
Oh no, this is a separate show.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, this is a separate show.
Wait, it's that
Lip Sync Battle. That's a show that's run. The host is LL Cool J and Christina.
Oh, I actually thought it was like a segment hosted.
It was originally a segment. It turned into a full show.
A segment from a talk show.
Yeah, so it's Jimmy Fallon's like.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to watch it because Jimmy Fallon had something to do with it.
Oh goddamn it!
I don't like Jimmy. Like I'm not like.
You don't like any of the Jimmys?
I like Jimmy Kimmel.
He's fine, yeah.
I like Jim Carrey.
I like Jimmy
Neutron.
Sure.
Yeah. So we ended up talking we should go back to the Back to the Future.
Back to the Future.
It was so
Doc
much.
Brown is fun.
It was so much fun watching this movie again. Again, I wish I had the VHS copy still, but it was fun watching it.
I mean, it was. I think the one thing that confused me that you had to clarify for me, I was just like, how are these two people like know each other? That was like the initial like. So you don't just randomly become friends with like a professor or a scientist like that randomly. Like to be that close.
Oh yeah, like I told you before, like it was originally in the script of in the novelization, I think. Like
there's a novel version?
Novelization. I think there's a novelization. Like it apparently the timelines actually were like aligned for them to meet, and Doc knew. Like Doc Brown knew. Also there is a story that was in the script where like there was this theory like in the town of Hill Valley, there was like everybody says that Doc Brown was a crackpot. He was crazy. He had all these inventions that nobody wanted to go near. Yeah. And so one day, like Marty is like, "Hey, that sounds interesting." So he broke into Doc Brown's. Probably, I think he broke in or snuck in or whatever. Yeah. And he saw these inventions, like, "Oh, this is cool." And Doc Brown's like, "Oh, wait, you think that's cool? That's awesome." And it turns out like Doc Brown's a nice guy. Yeah. And then I was like, "Yeah, we're just gonna be friends."
In this script.
Yeah, and then eventually it's like, you know what, doesn't matter. We're just gonna have them like always be friends. Like they knew each other for like a long time.
Yeah, it seems like very long time.
Yeah, what their introduction is like.
I mean, the chemistry is very good between the two actors. Like.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, no doubt. You could see it.
Yeah, and it's amazing considering like you never saw Taxi, did you?
Heard of it? I know of it. I think I watched it a very long time ago.
Danny DeVito was in it.
Very long time ago.
Andy,
like I barely
Andy
remember.
Kaufman was in it.
Yeah,
Christopher Lloyd played Reverend Jim, and he was high a lot of the time. Well, all the time. I never watched an episode. I just know because I know
of it.
Yeah,
I've watched it.
And it's amazing, like watching an episode of that he's in, and then watching Back to the Future. Like, it's two totally different people. That's hilarious. It's like, and he does it really well.
I mean, that is.
Yeah, I know, but like he does it really well, and the fact, like, it's like you were like, he's like, you didn't catch the joke in Back to the Future. It's like, you built a time machine out of a DeLorean. It's like, yeah, it's cool. It's like, why not go? No, that's the joke. Everybody knew. Everybody wants a DeLorean. It's like, yeah, but have you ever driven one?
Have you driven any?
No, I've never driven one, but I know they suck at driving.
Yeah,
they're bad
cars. A DeLorean. I was just like, so you actually had it. You knew the joke. It's like it's a car joke, and I'm like, oh, makes sense now. Yeah. I mean, oh yeah.
Yeah. So the DeLorean, like, everybody was like, oh, that's such a cool car, not knowing like, oh. No, it seems like a cool car. That's the joke. It's like, why not do it in some style? And Marty McFly's like, it wasn't so much as like, you built a time machine? And it's like, no, you built it out of a DeLorean. What? You built it out of a DeLorean? Really? It's like, why not go out some style? It's like, yeah, but those cars suck. That's the joke.
Yeah, that one went over my head. I was like, why not do it in a DeLorean? Because every time you think of DeLorean, you think of actually Back to the Future.
Everybody thinks of Back to the Future.
And it's just like, I've seen the design, like the car itself, aesthetically, it's very nice.
Yeah.
And it's like, it actually just sucks.
Oh yeah, it sucks. I think they went bankrupt at one point.
Is that why they pimped out the DeLorean to save their asses for the set?
Wait, look, we need a win.
We need to get the money back. We're going bankrupt on the set.
I meant like the car company.
Oh, the car
company.
Oh, they offered it for free. I thought you meant the set. I was like,
the set was fine. The production was fine, except for Michael J. Fox's sleep pattern.
Yeah, that's probably gone when he was doing the movie.
Yeah.
So like, do you think like they know it was bad, and then like they were like, we should get a DeLorean?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was.
Or maybe imagine it was just like somebody like heard like they were gonna use a DeLorean, and then like someone of a friend 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 is like a car dealer, and it's like, oh, we want to get rid of this goddamn DeLorean anyway. Here you go.
And now
it's like free.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Now we're popular. Now we're gonna do 2 more movies, which wasn't supposed to happen originally.
Oh, was it not?
It wasn't supposed to happen. Like originally, it was like just one movie and that's it.
Yeah, it does look like it was meant to only be like one movie.
And then it made a lot of money, and then it's like, okay, we're going to do 2 sequels.
Did they say they greenlit 2, or just greenlit the second one and they greenlit the third one later?
I think it was 2 at the same time.
Woo! Yeah, because like literally the way they ended the first one, it could have just left it alone.
Like, it wasn't on this DVD here, but even on the VHS copy, it's like before the end credits, it's like to be continued. It said actually did say to be continued, which as a little kid I was like I could pronounce the word continue when I was like 7, so it was fun. So yeah, man.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. If you haven't seen it, go see it.
Everybody who watches this channel has seen Back to the Future. If you haven't, sorry, spoilers.
Well, maybe we should mention that. You should have a cut. Spoilers!
They know what they did.
They know.
They knew what they were clicking on. Look, the title of this is going to be "My Friend Saw Back to the Future for the First Time."
Or you could just be like something else happened after.
No.
Or her first time. Ooh.
No, we're not at that. We're not doing that. This is a comedy show.
Their first time.
This is a comedy. It's not my first time watching Back to the Future.
No, because.
Yeah, I know. I know what you're getting at. So no.
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
So yeah.
He's not that fun, guys. Like you get to know him through me, and it's just like he ain't that fun.
He's boring. He's just boring. We just watched. We were down here eating, watching movies. Yeah, I really should probably
Right?
No, next time you come over, we'll just watch The Big Lebowski because you've never seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, because it's right there. It's sitting right there.
It's sitting right there. Yes, I should watch it. Well, we're caught up in Steven Universe now, and then we have Adventure Time. I'm behind you. I'm like a season ahead of you, though.
Yeah.
But it's been a while, so.
And I'm also have to watch Supernatural.
Anybody? I'm 10.
I stopped that. I stopped partway through season 12.
Oh, so you did stop again at some point?
Yeah, I stopped when we went to Pride.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anything else you want to say about Back to the Future? Like anything you remember, like the school, like the style, like.
Oh, it's very. I mean, it works out in their favor because it was a small town, so you just see these very enclosed sets. They haven't expanded literally, minus the 50s where it's there's nothing. But it's the costumes are very very nice. Essentially minus the fact that I'm not gonna lie, I mean Marty's a perv because I was just no, what was it? The shot of him and his girlfriend walking away, and then he looks behind, and I was like, girl, smack that man!
Yeah, no, his girlfriend knows he has a wandering eye a bit, but it's not oh I want her. It's nah.
Yeah,
it's turn away. He's like don't do that. It's more
no. I like how she was just
not even mean. It's just hey. You're with me, and you should be lucky.
Yeah, it's she had confidence. The few times she was in there, I'm assuming she has a bigger role. I mean, the fact that in the movie he carried her off, and she's like, all right, cool. Well, when in this day and age, if someone tells you, okay, we gotta go somewhere, no, I'd be like. I think most people
the ending did surprise you.
Yeah, because I've never actually seen that in full.
She's never seen the actual. She's seen.
Because I've seen the shot of them all in the window of the car, but I've never actually seen very last shot. I was
when her reaction actually, your reaction actually surprised me. I'm like, oh, this is the end. She's when the car started flying, oh wow, she really hasn't seen it.
Yeah, I genuinely have. It's never come up in my list of things to watch. Or my family is. Yeah, Back to the Future is not something mentioned. Family's a different generation. Other things we were watching, Roman Holiday, Casablanca. I mean, that's my dad. My dad loves films too, but he's a little more old-fashioned. So before.
Yeah, my first R-rated movie was Ghost.
I watched that when I was really young.
Yeah, I watched I watched it when we had a VHS. There was like the labels on VHS, like the tape.
The funny thing is, my whole family was together in that room watching it.
Mine too. We watched it.
That's an R-rated film, really?
I think it said R-rated on the tape, but I think it was PG-13.
Oh, then there was
some. I remember there was like F-bombs throughout, but it was
like the standard's so different than it is now.
Because here, like, it was released in 1990, and I remember like about 2003, my family, my immediate family, and my next door neighbor came over to watch it on VHS, and it was like a Saturday morning, and Saturday afternoon, I was like, oh, that was a nice day. So yeah.
What would be my first R-rated film? I don't know. I feel like I've watched R-rated stuff and I don't really realize it's R-rated. To be honest, like I actually can't think of any of it. I mean, I've watched animes that were like
bloodied.
Yeah, it was already like quite violent, I guess. Like, well, my first anime was Yu Hakusho, and that's considered 14A, and I was 5 or 6. that series is. Like 90s, that's old. Yeah. That's a long time ago.
I remember when I tried, like one day when I was living in an apartment still with my family, I snuck watch Ghost a bunch of times. Like every time I heard, like they were sleeping, my dad was at work, my mom was sleeping, and anytime I heard my mom open her door, I immediately paused the video and went to TV and watched cartoons. I'm like, oh, that was close. And I like to think like she knew I was watching Ghost. But she didn't. She knew. She probably knew, but she's like, oh, he's watching Ghost. If he, like, here's the thing. I watched that movie a lot of times when I was a kid. At that point, it's like he's watching Ghost, whatever.
You watched it more than once when you were younger.
Apparently, and my mom's like, whatever. He's watching Ghost. At least it's not like really bad. He probably
Ghost wasn't really that bad.
No, it's not in violence. No.
No, it's not.
Yeah. So.
I guess just the implications.
Yeah.
That's really about it's not the most terrible thing in the world.
No, but Back to the Future had more swearing.
Oh yeah, that was surprising too when I was watching the movie. And then like realizing when it came out, I was like, oh.
It was. You said it was again. You said 14A. I thought it was like it's more PG-13.
Well, like
there's no F-bombs.
No, there isn't. But like the way I guess the script was like set up, you could argue it could be like 14A.
Oh yeah, probably.
Probably in this day, like now.
And I like to think like I was more different than most kids when I was growing up because everybody else was singing like pop music like that was current in the 90s. Well, I was
Kumbaya.
Probably, but I was too busy singing like Huey Lewis songs from Back to the Future. I was so busy like that's the power of love, and I was like humming it, and apparently not many people in my grade got it, but
I mean, it was an older movie.
Yeah, but I was like, what? No, like, am I the only one? I know. I definitely know teachers knew who Back to the Future was.
Yeah, they were older.
What Back to the Future was?
What Back to the Future?
Yeah.
I had a lot of questions. What Back to the Future? And like,
it's like but again, I used to watch this constantly, like the first 30 minutes, and then I just drift off and like do something else when I was a kid. Because 30 minutes, like and then like around the time they hit high school, like Marty goes into his grandmother's high school. But yeah, I kind of lost interest. I don't know what's going on. There's no spectacle.
There's no spectacle. As a child, I like how that's what you complain about. I'm like, well, I mean.
Well, it's like candy. It's like you're a child.
Candy?
What do you want? What do you want? You would rather have candy or clothing. One's practical and the other's candy. But like when you grow older, it's like I don't like candy anymore. I'd rather have the clothing. Something that fits me, like this. Me and Gothic clothing, apparently.
But
yeah,
you were so much in denial for so long.
Yeah, Gothic, but not like let's not go over that again. So any other thoughts about what you saw a few hours ago? Stop it. What you saw in Back to the Future?
Anything else? Minus the fact that I like all my purple guys. Like, it's like dying all over my bed. I think I liked it. I want to see the other two, like the flying car.
Yeah, I'll find the other two. Like
you'll find it.
Well, no,
you'll beat someone up for it. You will take it.
Yeah.
You'll make it yours.
I'll send them Back to the Future. I'll punch them so hard they'll go Back to the Future so I can get the other two movies. Well, I could probably find it on at Sunrise. If not, we could watch Big Lebowski.
Lebowski.
Yeah.
I want to watch. Can't think of it off the top of my head, so if I remember, I'll tell you.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I had some.
Yeah, everybody, a lot of people watch Back to the Future. I don't know how many people don't really like it.
I feel like people, if they don't like it, is like
not in their age demographic.
Yeah.
When they're older, they'll appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, like you didn't have the attention span.
I didn't have the attention span, but I did watch it, like most of it, over and over as a kid.
And over and over. What was I doing as a child? Ghibli. I didn't realize it was Ghibli back then, but like, anime. My animes.
I had Pokemon.
I had 4.
So nothing has changed.
It's like I had. Right.
Alright. So, any final thoughts about Back to the Future and what you're hoping with the sequels?
I really hope that stop messing it up.
Stop messing what up?
Stop messing up time. But then again, it wouldn't be.
It wouldn't be a time travel movie if you didn't mess up time.
That's true. But then I'd be like, I swear incest should not be a big part of the next 2. But he did mention it's like it's your kids. What is it? What's that movie series that reminds of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? It's like my kids did it, Jumanji. Your kids did it, and you're like, oh Jesus Christ. I mean there's a recurring theme already. Children. Only children could mess up the time-space continuum.
Well, Marty's not a child, he's a teenager.
Whatever, anybody that's not of legal age is considered messing with the time-space continuum. Like, has any adult messed with it? Think about it. Like a good time-traveling movie is the adults usually fucking around with it.
You mean the children usually screw around with it?
Yeah. Like, think of, like, adults. Like,
screwing over time.
Me.
Adults screwing over time travel. None that I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah, I feel like it's always children, it's always teenagers. Always.
Alright. Well, again, any final thoughts about it?
It's just a fun movie, and I wish you had both of them.
We could have watched all 3 back to back. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's fine. Well, this has been another vlog. Now we're going to go back to watching Adventure Time.